For the parents of murdered Morgan Hill teenager Sierra Lamar as they face their daughter's killer in court.
Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to our channel. This is the Crime Time Tales, and today we are going to look into the murder case of Sierra Lamar. The murder case of Sierra Lamar is a tragic and high-profile criminal investigation that took place in California. Sierra Lamar, a 15-year-old girl, went missing on March 16, 2012, and her disappearance sparked a massive search effort and an ongoing investigation. The case captivated the public's attention and had a significant impact on the local community. Despite the extensive search and investigation, Sierra Lamar's body has never been found, and her killer was eventually brought to justice based on the available evidence. We will delve into the details of the case, exploring the events leading up to Sierra's disappearance, the investigation that followed, and the ultimate resolution of the case. Sierra Lamar was a vivacious and popular teenager living in Morgan Hill, a small city in Santa Clara County, California. She attended Sobrato High School and was described by friends and family as a caring and outgoing young woman. On the morning of March 16, 2012, Sierra left her house to catch the school bus, but she never arrived at school. This sudden disappearance alarmed her family, friends, and the community at large. Law enforcement agencies and volunteers mobilized to conduct an extensive search for Sierra and to determine the circumstances surrounding her disappearance. The investigation into Sierra Lamar's disappearance was led by the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office, with the assistance of other local law enforcement agencies. From the outset, the investigators treated Sierra's case as a potential abduction. They meticulously combed through the available evidence, conducted numerous interviews, and employed various investigative techniques to shed light on what happened to Sierra on that fateful day. One crucial piece of evidence that emerged early in the investigation was Sierra's cell phone, found near a local roadway, a few miles from her home. The discovery of the phone provided a significant lead, as it contained valuable information that could potentially lead investigators to the perpetrator. Forensic analysis of the phone uncovered evidence pointing to a suspect named Antolin Garcia Torres. Antolin Garcia Torres was a 21-year-old man living in the same community as Sierra Lamar. He became the primary suspect in the case based on the evidence collected during the investigation. Garcia Torres had a criminal record that included prior run-ins with the law, but nothing as severe as the allegations he would soon face. Investigators discovered surveillance footage showing Garcia Torres' car in the vicinity of Sierra's disappearance on the morning she went missing. Furthermore, forensic analysis of Garcia Torres' car uncovered traces of Sierra's DNA. On May 21, 2012, approximately 2 months after Sierra's disappearance, Antolin Garcia Torres was arrested and charged with her kidnapping and murder. The decision to charge Garcia Torres without the discovery of Sierra's body was based on the substantial amount of circumstantial evidence linking him to the crime. The prosecution argued that Sierra's body had likely been disposed of in a way that made it difficult to locate. The trial of Antolin Garcia Torres began on January 30, 2017. Almost 5 years after Sierra's disappearance, the prosecution presented a compelling case against Garcia Torres, relying heavily on the circumstantial evidence, DNA analysis, and eyewitness testimonies. Sierra's family and friends, as well as the local community, closely followed the trial, hoping for justice to be served. The defense, on the other hand, argued that the evidence presented by the prosecution was not conclusive enough to prove Garcia Torres' guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. They questioned the reliability of the DNA evidence, citing potential contamination and suggesting alternative scenarios for Sierra's disappearance. However, the prosecution's case was strong, and the jury was ultimately convinced of Garcia Torres' guilt. On May 9, 2017, the jury reached a verdict in the trial of Antolin Garcia Torres. He was found guilty of first-degree murder for the killing of Sierra Lamar, as well as guilty of the attempted kidnappings of 3 other women in unrelated incidents. The jury's decision brought a sense of closure to Sierra's family and friends, who had been living in a state of uncertainty and grief since her disappearance. In the penalty phase of the trial, the prosecution sought the death penalty for Garcia Torres, while the defense argued for life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. After careful consideration of the evidence and arguments presented, the jury was unable to reach a unanimous decision on the death penalty. As a result, the judge sentenced Garcia Torres to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole on June 5, 2017. Sierra Lamar's murder case left a lasting impact on the community and beyond. It highlighted the importance of community involvement in assisting law enforcement agencies during missing persons investigations. The case also underscored the challenges faced by investigators in cases where a body has not been recovered, relying heavily on circumstantial evidence to secure a conviction. The case prompted changes in legislation, with Sierra's Law, also known as Senate Bill 399, being enacted in California in 2016. This law requires law enforcement agencies to implement standardized procedures and training for responding to missing persons cases, with a particular focus on ensuring a rapid response and efficient coordination among agencies. Sierra Lamar's memory lives on through the efforts of her family, who established the Sierra Lamar Foundation. The foundation aims to support and bring awareness to issues related to child and teen safety, as well as the prevention of violence against children and young adults. The murder case of Sierra Lamar stands as a tragic example of a young life cut short and the devastating impact it had on her family, friends, and the community. Despite the absence of Sierra's body, the dedicated efforts of law enforcement, the support of the community, and the meticulous gathering of evidence led to the arrest and conviction of Antolin Garcia Torres. While justice was served in this case, Sierra's legacy reminds us of the importance of safeguarding our community and the ongoing need for improved systems and procedures in missing persons investigations. What do you guys think of this case? Feel free to drop your comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Look after yourselves and one another.